Hey friends, how you doing today? Had a beautiful day, man. Oh, it's just been weather's just been awesome here. You know, if you're modifying the weather, you're doing a good job here, anyways. Right. And what is that bullshit, anyways? If you're trying to look at some footage from the ISS or something, going over like the East Coast, the West Coast. I'm sorry, and like these wildfires going on right now, and you don't see that. You can't see that on any of the footage, and a lot of the pictures too of the world. With like with big storm systems over by California, yet they never get rain. And they'll tell you that they spray into the air for weather modification, but California doesn't get rain. You know, it's pretty fucking easy to see. But like I said earlier, I'm not going to say I'm off the flat Earth, but I'm gearing my channel towards all the other truth that I've been into all along, and because I really am starting to feel like there is like a dome effect or a bell effect where they're trying to get us all underneath their dome. They're trying to get us into their box where they say these flat earthers, that these people who are, dissenters, non-believers, problems for us, they're flat earthers, So, in a sense, there were a lot of truthers when this flat earth thing came out that were fucking absolutely bullshit because they were doing real good work and they just seen it coming, and they were and basically there's a couple that I had talked to like right in the beginning, that were basically just like, no, not to me. I just seen, I'd spoken to them, but I've seen their comments to other people, and they were just saying, no, guys, don't do it, because they could see they're gonna fucking, the tinfoil hat thing, that whole thing. They're gonna put us all into that box, and then it's very easy to discredit. And from what I can see, that's exactly what's going on. No lie, I am taking the words flat earth out of my channel name eventually. I'll take them out. I don't think I can even do it right now. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it to something else that has to do with truth. And you know what? I believe flat earth 100%, and I'll always talk about it. So chances are I'll probably keep the flat earth rock star. I'm just going to use my other channel too. And I'm going to take flat earth out of that. It'll either be unexplained earth or stolen earth or whatever, or somebody else steal those names. I'll come up with another, but really, and I've been saying this for a little while about that whole flat earth, just the title, and somebody had brought up a point. They were like, yeah, think about it, flat broke, flat tire, flat black, flat, like it's almost like a bad like pretext term. I think that a lot of us can agree that I'm not going to say this thing's been hijacked and taken over. If I was naive, I'd say that, but I'm not. I believe that it was completely just set up to blow up, set up to accomplish certain goals, because that's what it is. Haven't we figured this out by now, guys? Haven't we figured out that they don't let anything happen if it isn't for a reason to benefit them? I mean, really, just, foolish to think that can just take these devices here and actually be able to change what the desired outcome is. All right, so they have like think tanks, right? But anyways, right? What was I saying? I said I was gonna try to talk about other things, right? So yeah, and like I said, I'm not jumping ship, but I really do want to talk about some other things. What else? What am I going to talk about right now when it comes to the flat earth? All you guys that I'm talking about, we all know what's what. We know what all I know is that it's not what they said it is. That's all I know. It's not what they said it is. And that, flat or lumpy. I like that. Anyways, right? So, population control. Population control and countries using food as a weapon. And it's been going on since the dawn of time, right? Kings and queens have done a lot of this. Create the food shortage, create all this unrest. But what are the people doing? They're not generally, they're looking to them for the help, and they roll through like, don't worry, we love you. We're gonna straighten this out and fix this problem, right? So shit's been going on forever. Create a problem, create the solution to the problem, right? But right now, I don't know. You guys are familiar with that, like that Kissinger report? I know that's kind of old, but it's NSSM 200. So, you look that up and actually go through it again. I'm sure you've read it or read parts of it, but if you look it up and go through it again, you'll see like that, just some of the outlined issues like that they want to do, right? I mean, if they roll through with martial law, or when, if they're not going to call it that, it'll be called something else, and it'll be under the guise of some sort of bad thing that happened that creates, a shortage. So, using food as a weapon, basically, right? So right now, in the U.S. included, not exactly sure when, but it was a little while ago, basically Obama was saying that it's every U.S. citizen's duty to be prepared, to be prepared for natural disasters and be prepared for these things. Well, right now, like, I know Russia, Georgia, look at that, something. Georgia Guidestones is what I was looking at. Russia, Germany, France, some places in China, Japan, they're all coming through and warning their citizens to be stockpiled with food. At least, to stockpile food and water, at least like 10 days worth, they say, right? Now, usually if they say anything at all, it's too late or late in the game. So, that's just something to think about, right? Like, I've been thinking about that. If FEMA came through, doing their thing, first thing they'll do is they'll cut off all the communication. Now, it'll either be this bullshit they said about the power grid being so vulnerable, Again, right? We'll send fucking rovers to Mars and everything, but the power grid, nah. We'll talk about how vulnerable it is too, but don't fix it, That Eric Dollard guy was talking about how he had saw them working on some stuff, and he actually went and asked some questions because he knows his shit. And what he was saying was to himself, why the hell would they make it like that? That's way worse. Like, maybe going from like a 3 relay to a 1 relay, or just something where it just seems like, Jesus, if that breaks, then like just going backwards. Like, why would they do that? Why would they make it worse? Then, right? So they can throw the switch, and if they do roll through with the heavy hand, they're not going to just do it in one day with the whole place. It's going to be region by region, but all the communique will be cut off. So the only thing you'll see, the TV will work though, or radio, or some form of, they'll get the word to you what they want you to do, but you won't know what's going on, 200 miles away. That's scary. It's scary business, right? So, if you go over to Deagle, it's a site that does like predictions, like, even a company could use a site like this to get an insight or an idea about what things could be like in the next 10 years in this market, that market, whatever, right? Well, according to that Deagle, that's DEAGEL, right? America's population is 321 million. Deagle says in 10 years it'll be 61 million. That's what they predict. And it's not just in America, it's a lot of places. Like, is that falling under the category of They have to tell you when they're doing something bad to you. One way or the other, they have to tell you. So, we told you. We predicted that in 10 years, where the hell is, 230 something or 260 something million people going? You know what sucks? When you bring stuff like this up to people, they tell you, please stop bringing negativity into my life. It's like, I'm just trying to bring reality into your life, right? There's another one, there's another site like that called Motherboard, and they predict social unrest within the next 10 years as a 395% food increase. Food spike, an increase in price. So, the population control is not going as they wanted. So far, it's coming along. It's coming along. I think that a lot of, young people are in for some shit. Somebody said the other day, man, I wish I was a kid again, and I was like, no, it's not time, because they're the ones that are targeted. You think they give a fuck about you, me, anybody that's over fucking a certain age? Nah. It's the young ones, the young minds, My child doesn't even know a world without the internet. How could he? He's too young. Okay? So what they're finding is that just fertility's high in all these countries. Everywhere, population's just cruising along, even though they're pumping us with so much shit, spraying stuff in the air, the stuff in the food, the fluoride, right? AIDS didn't do what they wanted it to do. I think they hoped that it was just gonna kill some. See, the human body's a resilient thing, and that's life is resilient. You know what I mean? So, it finds a way a lot of time. So, this Zika thing, we're gonna release a bunch of mosquitoes all around, and those mosquitoes are gonna somehow fix. Really? People are buying that shit? My family lives down there, man. What the fuck's going on? But it doesn't sound right. Talk to an old person. Did they used to spray the sky and fucking put bugs in the air to fix problems with a disease that is this really the world that we're living in? It's like a bad dream almost, guys. Scary. But I just wanted to bring that up. Countries are warning places right now, man. I got in an argument with somebody a while back because I was talking about saying how, clean water and gasoline and food or whatever are going to be gold. That's going to be money. That's going to have all the value. And if you really look, that is what the value always has been. Commodities, as in food and oil and water, and things are gonna get fucking rough. There's no fucking two ways about it. There's just no two ways about it. Because everything is built on a fucking pyramid, upside down pyramid Ponzi scheme. Fucking, there's no fucking way that it can work. And I don't believe there's been any shortages of anything. I heard the potato famine. I heard they were shipping off. Ireland was shipping off 8 ships a day, loaded with meat and food and everything, shipping them off to create a famine. There's a reason why. To bring people here, to bring them here. There's a reason why, and if you don't know, look it up. Just think, Irish Catholic. I don't delve into all the serious speculation about who is in fact personally responsible. I've heard a couple of stories about different groups, but I think in the end, It all comes down to the same group. There's no way it couldn't. It comes right down, and I have a lighter in my damn hand. It all comes down to the same group. That sucks, what I just did right there. That sucked, because I had a lighter in my hand, and you know what? I'm going to say, it pisses me off, that whole thing, because I'm a rock and roller, and we were trained to do that. Like, Ronnie James Dio trained us to do that. You know, like, I find myself, I do it a lot, too. Like, just like talking, like, I'll point, I'll have something in my hand, I'll point with my pinky, and point with my whatever, man. I believe there's a God. I don't worship any kind of evil. Jeez, that scares the hell out of me, you know? And it's like, I grew up, man, my favorite bands, Black Sabbath, Metallica, fucking Pantera, Black Sabbath, there was Ronnie James Dio, all that shit, Rolling Stones, Steppenwolf, Deep Purple, The Doors. The Doors is one of my favorites. And it's like, you know, looking back and looking at it now, and it's like, and it's not that I don't still like, I like the music no matter what. I'm a fucking rock and roller, but you know, I've heard all the stories, like Ronnie James Dio. What's his name there? David Crosby. Somebody had asked him, like, do you guys still do the, I don't know if it's like some sort of praise to the gods or whatever, you know, do you guys still do that? And he said, hell yeah, we do. You know, like, they worship fucking evil, like, you know, and I tell people, I'm like, look, because, you know, that's the thing, that's why I don't talk a lot about, like, that kind of shit, like, because I don't want to come off as like a religious kook. I do believe in God. I do believe there is a oneness, but when you start saying that, you know, like Bob Dylan is one of my mom's favorites, you know, you start saying, by the way, did you know he sold his soul? Oh, wait a minute, no, let me show her now. Show her. It's like, look, right here, he actually admits to selling his soul. You know, he could be joking, but he don't fucking seem like it. He don't seem like he's joking, you know, and that's scary, you know, and that's what I tell people, you know, because you start talking about shit like that, people are like, dude, you fuck too much internet, too much acid or something, man, you gotta chill, you know, too much, you know what I mean, and I'm like, look, just because you don't believe in that shit doesn't mean they don't, and it seems to be a fact, it seems to be how it is, you know. But again, to talk about exactly who's responsible, well, you hear different stories, and unfortunately, when you try to consider your sources, you'll always find somebody to say that your source is fucking bunk, or your source is a shill or something. So, like, you know, that sucks. So we don't really know what to believe. You know, so it's like, I don't want to just be on this channel just ranting and raving, the world's flat and fuck you, because they start sending people to proofs or whatever. The only proof I really need is that fucking Pythagoras theorem, those numbers, that calculator, at least when it comes to the curvature. That, and then just about anything you'll see NASA put up, and, you know, in the basic idea of actually observing the sun and moon with your eyes, observing the moon roll like a wheel in the sky, you know, measuring the moon's light, which I have done, you know what I mean? So there's plenty of truth in there. It's just that these sources purposely will get caught in lies. You're gonna see it. And it's you know, unfortunately. Oh, all stressed out, by the way, trying to think of a trailer for my station. I'm like, man, what am I gonna go on for? What am I gonna do? But it's like, I don't have a laptop. I don't really have the capabilities to. I don't know how to do that shit. Like, someone have to help me with it. I just don't know. I didn't spend my life on a computer, man. I was out in the world doing things. Only until recently have I actually been on here. And I'm starting to feel like it was a mistake. I'll be honest. I'm starting to feel like just speaking all my views on YouTube and all that like, I just, like, have sealed my fate in somehow, and I don't like it. It's a fucking, like, it's a shitty feeling in a way sometimes, you know, and then I realize that's fear. That's what that feeling is, dude, and it's fucking intentionally done to you, so that's what keeps me rolling, you know, but, again, Nothing will surprise me, and there's nothing new under the sun. That being said, why would the virtual world be any less deceitful than the real world? In fact, with all the anonymity that you get in the virtual world, wouldn't it stand to reason to be a fuckload of a lot more deceit? So, like I said, guys, we all know deep down. Look at the Georgia Guidestones. The bottom fucking line is population control. The bottom line is, GMO. Fuck with the food. Fuck with the air. Try to bring the fertility down. Bring the morals down. People say, oh man, the end times is now. Well, you know what? That's possible. But the end times, even if they were now, it could last 500 years. I mean, I would stock up on some food and water. If they're telling you to do it, and it's not a bad idea anyway. Fuck, man. Right? But, they do want us scared. And that's what I tell myself all the time. They do want us scared. So, I mean, I don't live my life paranoid. Shit. I look over, I see a fucking 100-foot tidal wave coming. I'm just gonna bust out laughing. Like, quick! Light the bowl! Because I love weed. Have I said that today? Well, I do. It desires me just as much as I desire it. But, yeah, man. Look, man, I think all you guys are awesome. All you guys that just have this quest for knowledge, right? So, they put us into these categories. They've been doing it forever. And, that's why the flat earth is kind of so dangerous now, because, like, if they can run that into the ground, and like I said, they do and have been talking about, now I'm not sure if it's in this country, it might be in Europe, they have been talking about passing laws where if you speak out against global warming, that it's not real or whatever, that you can fucking get in trouble. They're talking about doing that shit, right? So if they do that, that's what they'll do. They'll call flat earthers global warming deniers, and everything else, and conspiracy theorists. That's just, if you look up in like Wikipedia and dictionary, like conspiracy theorists and stuff, they'll tell you what it is. And it was basically a term created by them, but with the word theory in it, of course, because that implies that you are just trying to imply a conspiracy or a lie or some sort of, there's a consortium of people after me, is trying to apply that to any and everything. And it's like, that's pretty fucking far from what it is. Like when I first started looking into Sandy Hook, I was like, what do you mean it didn't happen, right? At what point is it a theory saying this didn't happen or something shady happened? At what point is it a theory? When you see that Neil or that Rosen guy, whatever the fuck his name is, just like literally just fuck his lines up like so many times. Like, you just see so many discrepancies. It's like, what? Because you really kind of can't fake real, like, Columbine, that's real. You really can't fake real. Like, parents running up to school, getting out of the car, like, that's real. Those are real reactions. Like, they fake these things, and they do them sloppy for a reason, too. It's all like, hey, well, we told you, we showed you, what, you believe that shit? Really? Like, one day, I think once they can, like, secure everything, and they'll do it piece by piece, like I said. They'll do it piece by piece. I think once they can secure everything, then eventually there will be this revelation where it's like, look, man, you guys have been sold out, you know, all of you, the world, you know, but you've been sold out for a long time. It does say in the Bible that this is Satan's kingdom, Lucifer's kingdom. That's what it says. So, if we live in Lucifer's kingdom, how the hell can we expect things not to be hellish? I don't live a hellish life, you know, but there are a lot of people that do. And they don't fucking deserve it. Why? Because they were born in a certain geographic area? You know? People in the U.S. are like, this is how fucking people in the U.S. are. Well, I got my little job, and I got my little house and my kids. I can take care of my kids. I can go to the grocery store, and everything's good. And look at those poor people over there. And some people say, I only care about my state. I don't really give a fuck. It doesn't affect me. I hear that all the time. Doesn't affect me at all. It's like, right, not right now. But it will affect you. And, like, when it does, there are those of us that are gonna, you know, and believe me, we only think we know, like the tip of the iceberg. We really don't know. There's so much that we don't know, right? But we're at least gonna have an idea, you know, and be like, oh man, and it's like there's only gonna be few that actually know what's happening to them. Everybody else wouldn't believe it if you told them, and I don't think you'd be in a position to tell them. That's what the internet's for. That's what creating your profile is for. That's what posting your thoughts and narrating your whole day and everything that you stand for is for, along with your location and your IP address and the addresses and birthdays and names of everybody that you love. Free phone calls on that shit too, by the way. Google Hangouts too, free phone calls, you know. I mean, nothing in the world's free. Especially international phone calls. So maybe I'll just call it, that's what I'll call this, this one here. Nothing in the world is free. I love all you guys, man, all my truther friends. You know, those people that are real, that just know that we're in some sort of a matrix, whether it's just a serious, just man-made deception over the years, overseen by a real evil force. There's a good chance. And if that's the case, well, then in that story, it is the good that will overcome. Bottom line. So, that being said, I'm glad I'm on the right side of this. And if not, then I guess I'm just seriously delusional. But you know what? So what? At least I think I'm on the right side of this. I don't know. How do you feel? We all did this for a reason, you know. Like I said, part of it is I just like to watch myself on video, you know what I mean? 'Cause I'm like that. But anyways. Peace, guys.